Goat Girl is the voice of a group that quite sincerely don't give a shit what those commenters think. Because this isn't for them. This is for the discontent, furious youth who are just trying to find the lot in life. Funny, raging, unpredictable and electric, this is a record that feels alive. Read our review of Goat Girl. Here Lies the Body holds a sweeter and more sentimental moffat than one might expect. Some of these songs could be parallel universe versions of Arab strap tales, the scene's quite similar, but the perspective lightened, finding tender humor in human intimacy that's tart but not bitter. Read our review of Here Lies the Body. Nostalgia, particularly when commercially driven, can often feel cold and empty. Tokyo-born British pop star Rina Sawayama, however, channels her rose-tinted memories of late 90s, early popular culture into Rina, an excellent mini-album that challenges the problems of the present rather than merely pander to the past. Read our review of Rina. This third album sees hookworms moving away from the cosmic punk of their past, although barely concealed rage remains evident. More than anything else, however, groove-based propulsion informs proceedings this time. With their studio out of action while being rebuilt, the band focused on creating samples and loops which, alongside use of modular synths, has naturally led to a more electronic sound, one which suits them perfectly. Read our review of Microshift. Geography has much that appeals, not least that it's one of those rare records that doesn't fit neatly into one genre. With it, Mish has cemented his place as one of the UK's top independent producers of the moment, and looks set to only grow in confidence. Read our review of Geography. If you haven't heard of him yet, Dave has become one of the standout grime artists of the last year, which is no mean feat in a scene that seems to be overflowing with talent right now. Did Drake's remix of Wanna Know help get Dave some much-needed visibility to the tune of over 15 million YouTube views? Yes. Is that why you should care about him? No. Read our review of Game Over. Mogwai excavate acquainted territory to reveal real forward motion and a slough of newfangled ideas. Even for a band who have never flirted with the idea of faking it, the impetus that drives this release forth is tangible. Each sober reflection and breakneck expulsion stems directly from a very real and none more vital source. Read our review of Every Country's Son. Year's second album Palo Santo presents frontman Ollie Alexandra as a commanding presence in the spaces that he once negotiated tentatively. Now the roles are clear. Hes the protagonist, the main event. His authority is awakened and evidenced by his self-assurance on the dance floor, and the well-formed conviction of his voice. Read our review of Palo Santo. Oil of Every Pearl's insides is difficult to comprehend, and even knowing the meaning doesn't make I love every person's insides any less weird. But there always is a meaning, and that's what makes Sophie vital as an artist. If transgender people continue to face the scrutiny they do now, there are worse people to lead the charge than someone who exemplifies every bad thing a transphobe could say, then turns it into a source of strength. Read our review of Oil of Every PLR's insides. Earl Grey's range is ambitious, and it's executed with a gratifying versatility that lets it hold its head high when nodding to 60s psychedelic pop, 90s Britpop and sweaty pub indie. It's an impressive signal of intent from Girl Ray, balancing adolescent candor with an astute songcraft, seldom cloying, seldom overreaching. Time is very much on their side. Read our review of Earl Grey. Glancing at the artwork for Cocoa Sugar, one is instantly reminded of Francis Bacon's work. With its distorted and menacing anatomy, it simultaneously provokes both revulsion and awe. Like Bacon, young fathers have often borrowed inspiration from far-reaching genres to create their own unique art and socio-political commentary. Cocoa Sugar is the sound of the three-piece brilliantly lining their art to piercing and disarming effect. Read our review of Cocoa Sugar. Inspired by the contrast between the gritty modern world and the magnificence of nature, benign absorbing tracks circle throughout the album, as we descend from pulsing electronica into serene ambience. Hopkins' fascination with meditation is also a predominant theme throughout, to each song taking the listener into a transcendent state of euphoria or tranquility. Read our review of Singularity.